before we get into everything, can you just introduce yourself and who you are, what you do, and how old you are, everything like that?
Yeah. My name is Ricardo. Ponce is my last name. I am working as my city hall as a principal clerk for the city clerk and a waiter. I'm 24 years old. About to be 25.
How long ago did we actually start working together, and how did you even find me?
So I started working with you. It was like last year in March, which is basically a year that just had passed. Um, and the first time I saw you was on TikTok because it's basically what I was doing before my more active lifestyle. And it was like in college too. And I just saw how like first of all, I was like, oh, this dude is actually like Bill as hell and like mad cool.
Yeah.
And like he had a good vibe to him about like the fitness stuff or whatnot. So, me at the time being like heavier, I was like, following people who were just like who had that lifestyle in a sense that I wanted to sort of adapt or
Yeah,
adopt.
dude, that's amazing. That's amazing that like my content, um, I guess affected you in that way, and inspired you even to reach out and start working together, which is super super cool.
Mhm.
I mean, you're like one of my first clients that I got on, and it's amazing that we got this far.
Yeah, the results are happening really good and really crazy. So
Okay, okay. Can you take me back to like where you were before we started, right? Like physically, what did you look like? How much did you weigh? And how did you feel about your body like day to day?
oh, jeez. So throughout my whole life, I always had like a really sort of bad relationship when it comes to weight. Sometimes I would like eat a lot. I was a fat kid at first. Sometimes I would eat a lot and then have these like episodes of just like being more active and losing the weight and then getting back on and then lost the weight again and then we're gaining it again in college after the pandemic and then like after graduation. I graduated in 2023 and then after that I try to do whatever I can to like make money or like figure out what's next. But with that came a lot of like, being depressed and just like, oh, I'm back in my city where I'm just like, not doing much, but only thing there is to do is just eat, unfortunately. So fast forward a little bit, I'm working a lot. I just, barely had time to eat, always eat out or whatnot. And then I got to the point where I remember one day waking up and it's like, damn, my back, my joints, everything hurts. And like I can't really breathe well as it is. And I have asthma. So not breathing even worse, able to breathe normally like before, it was just kind of crazy. Um, yeah, and then at the time, I was just like, wasn't even productive as much as I can. I would go on walks, try to do like a mile run from time to time, but my eating was just out of control. I just didn't really know nutrition well, or like in that phase of just like not caring as much.
Dude, that's insane. That's super unfortunate that you're there, but that is the past you, right? Wait, how much
Yeah,
did you weigh before?
yeah. So yeah, it was at I weighed 270, and I got that weight initially when I went to like my first ever like physical exam with my doctor, like 2 years. And that's when I was like, damn, seeing those numbers like that reminded me a lot of like my uncles and my cousins about my family. And I was just like, some of them over 300 pounds. I was like, damn, I'm literally like 30 pounds away from that.
Yeah.
And that just really like shook me up a little bit after. I still got your point like after the appointment. And
Hmm.
then I was like, nah, this is a really bad habit. That's how I'm like processing all this.
Yeah. That is crazy, dude. That like it reminded you of, you saw yourself as like 300 pounds or plus because you have family members that are in that position, and you're like, fuck, like I cannot go down that route. Because you probably see like their lifestyle, how they're living, and that's probably, it's like, I want different for myself, right?
Exactly. Like when I got home, I didn't realize it before, but I looked myself in the mirror and I was like, damn, I actually look like I gained a lot more weight than I normally packed on.
Hmm.
And I don't know, maybe it was because like, for that doctor's appointment and then be like, oh, you're kind of pre-diabetic on your way to becoming that. It was just like, damn, bro, like the whole like, reality hit my face. And I was like, yeah, I really am like far from what I used to be.
Hmm. So in that like specific moment, do you think that situation and that feeling that made you realize something that you needed to change, like did you feel like you hit rock bottom and that was your wake up call?
Oh, yeah. It's just like a lot of times when you're like hit like rock bottom or just like really down bad, not down bad, but just like in the deepest hole you can be, you don't really realize it until like something actually like shocks you back into, the truth of how you're living. And for me, it
Mhm.
was just like that doctor's visit, just like looking myself in the mirror, just thinking like, oh, I look like bad habits personified.
And before working with me, have you tried anything else, like other programs or even diets, coaches, anything like that?
Before working with you, I never signed up with a trainer or coaches or done any program. I only done what I thought or what I knew at that time about what it means to be like healthy, which is just like essentially not eating as much and just like doing a lot of cardio, running. Like that's how I initially lost the weight the first time when I was a kid, and did some track cross country and just like did not eat at all. I got skinnier, but I looked frail, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I just couldn't never understand or figure out the whole balance of like looking healthier but also looking like not too like skin and bones type.
Yeah, that's crazy. That like you had like you seen yourself growing up when you did track and all that stuff. You were kind of skinny, right? Frail, and then all of a sudden growing up, you packed on a lot of weight that like you never even, realized until that doctor's visit.
Yeah, it was just like all after that pandemic and everything with college,
Mm.
like I don't know. I always thought I was like really book smart, and I thought like, oh, I'll go into like grad school right after whatever, but I just didn't do that well. And I guess that just sort of like, made me realize like, oh, who am I? What am I? And I just got really depressed with the idea of like not knowing anything for the first time in my life. As
Mm.
egotistical as that sounds, but I
Yeah.
just did not know shit anymore. And some people, when we talked to my brother about it, he was basically just like, "Oh, why don't you just like drink about it or like smoke about it?" I was like, "Dude, drugs, sex, all that shit, I don't really fuck with that. But apparently, food is my only vice to go to."
So, so would you say instead of going that route of like drinking, smoking, eating more, you chose a different route, and that was to finally pull the trigger and invest in yourself, right? Into coaching, and everything like that.
Mhm. Yeah. So I kind of thought it was a coincidence at the time when I first realized like how big I got, and then you posted on your stories, I think, or on TikTok too, about like hiring coaching people to coach about. And I was like, you know what? At this point, I gotta at least try something because what I'm doing right now is just like too extreme. 270, biggest I've ever been. Mobility was crazy. I gotta try whatever I can right now to fix myself and invest in myself. So that's why I contacted you for the first time.
And then the rest is history, right?
Then the rest is history after that. At first, I was like, dude, I'm literally hiring a guy from the internet to just like tell me what to do, as opposed to like somebody in person. But honestly, it was a lot better for me to just like work with you virtually and like, follow your plans and everything.
And were there any fears like joining in, working with me? Did you have any fears like you doubted yourself if it's even gonna work, or any hesitation like that?
Oh, major, yeah. I think it was more the fact that just I just couldn't believe that I made up this situation ever. You know what I mean? I would not have thought to been like this, big, this depressed, and just like, to the point where like my mobility was restricted.
Yeah.
And so when you're in that mindset for so long, you kind of just like limit yourself and how the possibilities that you could do. So when I contacted you for the first time, you were talking about like, oh, in 5 days or so, I'll send you, the plan, everything like that, and we'll talk more about it. I was like, oh, cool, great. But then after that initial call, I was just like, dude, can I even do this? Can I even like afford the time to do this? Could I even just like stick to an actual diet as it is and go to the gym like that? Because I had like gym intimidation. I was scared to go to a public gym and see all those people around me, whether they're like, fit or like getting there or whatnot. Because just like, I was just a big slob at the time. And I was just too scared to go out in public sometimes.
Yeah, like when I was overweight too, over 200 pounds, and I would go outside, and dude, I grew up wearing a jacket always. Like I never took off my jacket. I was scared to wear shirts out in public. I didn't ever take off, my shirt or anything when I went to the pool, anything like that, because I was just so insecure. I was
Mhm.
so unconfident with myself, with my body, and I didn't know how to change it, right? Until I just made a decision that I don't have a choice. Like this is going to be my life for the rest of my life, or I have to make a change and a decision that completely changes my life forever, right? In the direction of it. And that's exactly what you did, right? Like how did you get over that fear? Like you had doubts, right? But then how did you actually believe in yourself and just go all in?
The way I thought about it was just like I'm getting a set meal plan. I'm getting literally the schedules, the an actual app that actually shows you how to exercise, supposed to go and what to do with that form and everything. And I was just thinking about it for a bit because like before on my own when I was doing this stuff, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea if my form was correct or what to do for these specific things. So then I was reflecting and I was just like, dude, you literally have the tool, you literally have the plan, you literally have a good like description of both the nutrition you're eating and the workout that you're doing. Literally, that all that matters left to make it all happen is if you actually go out and do it. So I was like, oh, I'll give it 1 week. And I went. And then for the gym, I went late at night because that's when like less people were there. But I really wanted to work out and like, finish a day or so. And then after that 1 week, we lost like a good amount of weight. I think it was like 5 pounds or so, obviously because of like water weight and all that stuff.
Mm.
But I was like, you know what? I'm 5 pounds lighter right now. It's going to be a bitch essentially to wait like 3 months, 6 months after to get down to where I want to be. But I was like, oh, first week we lost 5 pounds. The next week we made one or two. As long as that scale keeps going down, and I feel a lot better and more comfortable going in, it just be easier. And now, literally, I plan everything with my schedule when it comes to like cooking, like meal prepping on Sundays, and just like every day making sure that I'm eating our meal groups like on the hour or so to speak, so I can keep
Mm.
on track. And with the gym, literally, it's like not even a hassle to go there anymore. I have a car. It's 24/7 now. I go in and out. If there's people there, I'm not scared anymore.
Yeah.
I actually think now, just like damn, somebody's fucking taking out the bench press right now, and I gotta wait and do this other thing right now. But it's not just like me leaving because it is. I'm just waiting now. I'm just like actually wanting to be there. It's
Mhm.
like a good like stress relief now for me than
Yeah.
before.
When we first started, you were a little like shy and hesitant, but like now, dude, you seem way more open and even looking forward to going to the gym. You take pictures in the gym, bro. You send me, text like, dude, I just got another vein on my arm. Like this never happened before. Like,
No, dude, nothing because when I saw myself, like we were doing like I was doing like belt press or whatever, and I didn't have my glasses on, and I was just looking at the thing, what the fuck is on my arm like that? And
mm.
looking closer, I was like, oh shit, that's coming from inside. I was so pumped.
That's so funny.
And I was like, oh shit. And I sent you a picture of like Bane from Batman. I was like, this is me now. I'm
Yeah,
Bane now.
you really are, bro. You really are, dude. That's crazy.
But yeah, no, I'm really happy now that like it's everything not fearful anymore. It's more just like me doing exactly what I wanted to do.
Mm.
And you know, like today, seeing the scale being like 221, where before I would be looking at the scale be like 270, 265. It was like this is a major jump. I essentially lost like 50 pounds almost,
Hmm.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. 50
And
pounds.
it's crazy because before it was like, damn, I gotta lose like 70 pounds or so. I gotta lose this and that, but like I'm actually like 20 pounds away from that goal in a way, or
Yeah.
6 pounds now at 215.
And in the last 2 weeks, what we dropped probably another 10 pounds, and you see how fast this scale moves now, right? We had a plateau, and then boom, we implemented a little more stuff, and then dropped 10 pounds, right? Now we're 221, and you are on track, Ricardo, to literally get under 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my mission to get you under 200 pounds because when's the last time you've been under 200 pounds?
Like I think high school.
High school, right? High school. So
Yeah.
imagine how you look. Imagine all that muscle mass you'd have under that from all like the whole year you've been training, right? So my goal, right? This is the next goal is to get under 200 pounds because your goal last time was 215, right? And you see how close that is now. It's 6 pounds away, Ricardo. 6 pounds away. We're gonna reach it. I promise you, we're gonna reach it. But thing is, you're gonna want more. I promise you're gonna want more.
I was just thinking about it. I was like walking today. I was like, damn, I'm gonna be 215. I was like, what's next? I was like, another 15 pounds gone. Easy.
Yes, dude. Yes. And I truly believe that this month is going to be the month where we get you like 2 to 215 or even under. And then we'd literally be on track to get under 200 pounds. So this is my goal is before summer, I want to get you under 200 pounds. And this is going to be the first summer in years, maybe what, 8, 10 years that you've been under 200 pounds, going to the beach, to, swimming with your friends, on vacation, taking off your shirt, under 200 pounds, brother. I just can picture how
Essentially,
that's
yeah.
picture how you're gonna feel. You know what I mean?
I just means a lot too because I always thought about my weight. how I look like and how like everything moves when I moved.
Mm,
So now that like we're almost so close, it's just like damn, I can't wait to just not have that be an issue anymore.
mm.
Finally buy clothes that look like nice and I have to worry about if it fits or not.
Yeah, dude, that makes me so happy. I'm so proud of you, bro. We came a very, very, very long way. It has been a long journey. We had our like ups and downs, right? We hit plateaus, but we always persevered and got through it. And we're just so close. We're getting closer and closer every single week. And this is where we hit the gas. Do not let up. We just got to keep the momentum going and keep pushing forward. And so far, like right now, how has your confidence changed from being 270 to 220?
My confidence has increased a lot. As you said, like before when I first talked to you, I was like really shy, just like scared to really like, do things. I think my first check-in too, it was like, oh, you had to take pictures of yourself, like front, backwards, and sideways. So I was like, bro, that's really gonna be a fucking hassle from now on. And now it's just like generally I'm excited to take pictures now.
Mm,
So my confidence has gone through a lot, especially since like now that like in a way people do talk to me differently as it was before to being 270, you know what I mean, which sucks because that sucks. I'll never be a dickhead person, but in general it's kind of nice to actually just like feel good about myself, feel good about what I'm saying, and feel good about me out in the world physically, you know what I mean. It's just no more like being too self-conscious or whatever, like like as fat kids or whatnot, we have this habit of just like pulling out our shirts every
mm.
time we walk or like sit down or whatnot.
Or putting your sweatshirt over your chin.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And I don't really like. I realized the other day. It's like, hey, I haven't done that in a while now. Cause why? Because my shirts are actually like loose right now. They're like actually look nice on me.
Mm.
And so yeah, no, I just got a lot more confident in a way, and a lot more jokingly, like more comedic, and just a lot more like unafraid to actually just start like living in a way.
Through this journey, being 270 all the way to 220, on your way to 200, you're saying that your relationships change with, how people treat you, your mindset's change, how you carry yourself has changed. Losing weight doesn't just carry, yeah, you looking good for your body. It gives you more confidence in yourself, even how, like you just said, to move around the world more free, right? To be yourself more without the hesitation of like scared of judgment and stuff like that.
Exactly. And again, it's just like if I was comfortable at the way I was before, then definitely I would have lived my life the way as I can be. But it's just I couldn't. It's just not meant for me. My joints started hurting. My back, dude, was killing me all the time. I thought it was because the way I was sitting down my job, office job, but no, it was like legit the weight is killing me.
Mm-hmm.
And being pre-diabetic, it was just like, dude, I'm on my way to like living with more restrictions than as it was. So now being able to just like sit comfortably in a chair and just like fit in places where I couldn't before, it's just like it's just that initially the one thing I needed to like overcome first to begin my new life as I wanted to be, you know. And so I really am grateful that you worked with me and like you know took me on again after that whole hiatus we had after the first time, because I was losing my mind. Because after we finished up, I was like, I'm still 235. I know nothing about nutrition as much as like you would explain to me. So I'm glad that now, part two, we're doing the same routine again, doing good work, and I'm learning a lot more about what it means to be, full of nutrition and like doing the workouts right.
Yeah, of course, dude. Okay, last question. What would
Mhm.
you say to someone who's sitting here right now thinking about either joining my coaching or starting their fitness journey that was in the same position you were before?
Don't think, do. That's just the one thing that like I had a bad habit of doing, is like overthinking too much, thinking like, oh, if I hired this guy, would it actually work? Oh, if I got all this, would I actually like put myself accountable to it? Because essentially that is the one thing that makes this happen, is not only having you helping me out, be active and stay accountable on my everything, but for me to actually like believe in the mission, you know? So I would tell them in a way like, hey, if you feel as though you want to change, whether it's losing weight or gaining muscles, and you want to like sort of live freely as I am feeling right now, don't think about it. Just do it. It's a nice program, an awesome coach. It's amazing tools to help you out. There's literally an app that shows you what to do. There's really no excuse of like confusion in a way. It's just a matter of you yourself doing what's best for you and investing in the hardest thing out there, which is yourself. Because I had that trouble too. Because I was like, I'm not gonna spend $5 on like a spinach when I could get $5 for chicken at McDonald's. But that $5 for spinach lasts you a whole week. So
Yeah.
that's where I was like, oh, it's a lot cheaper to live healthy.
Yeah. It is. It is. Dude. All right, Ricardo. Well, thank you so much for your time, brother. I'm so happy to continue this journey. Yeah, bro, let's get you under 200.
That consider it done. I can't wait till June.